Damn. What's up, y'all? You already know what it is. It's the Doomatron. Alex Doomsday Line is here on the Fighter Breakdown. You know, it's a big weekend. It's the big fight. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. And I know some of my hardcores are kind of mad that you got to pay, but you got to look at this card as an entirety. You got my man Leo Santa Cruz fighting on this card. You got Lucas Santamaria, shout out to Javier Capetillo, fighting on his card, taking on Abel Ramos. I mean, you got some good fights. You even got Ryan Carl, right? Ryan Carl's on the card. I think Mario Barrios did fight Ryan Carl. And, it's pretty interesting to see the Cowboy on the same card. But we're here to talk first and foremost about Keith Thurman. He's on the comeback. A lot of you are feeling good about it. A lot of you feeling, the same way that we all do for the most part when a fighter's out of the ring for a long time. So it's really going to be up to what type of discipline and, mind state and healing has Keith Thurman, one-time Thurman, gone through thus far. And hopefully he's 100%. I mean, even if he's at 90%, I think even if he's at 85%, I think we've seen him really combating that injury to the elbow. And for a while, we kind of just, didn't see the best I think that we could have seen. And maybe Keith Thurman could, say more to that. But definitely like the way he's been he's been looking for this camp. He looks strong. He's definitely looking confident as always, and I mean, what can I tell y'all, man? It's time to go. So let's go and get into this fighter breakdown here with the Doomatron on the Boxing Biz podcast radio show. And first for starters, it's crazy because Mario Barrios is coming up a weight division on this fight. Mario Barrios is taking some pretty risky chances. I mean, many will say that he was way bigger than Gervonta, but we all know Gervonta was a heavy hitter. So, we knew there was danger there, but now he's getting in there with the, with the one time, somebody that can do it all. He even said it at the presser that, he knew that coming into this fight, he was going to have to be able to do it all. Mario Barrios needs to be able to do it all to get in there with a guy like Keith Thurman with a high boxing IQ that he already has. And, long layoff or not, I think he's well rested. I think this is going to be a dangerous Keith Thurman. He better back it up. We all know Keith Thurman knows how to talk the talk. But this time, we're going to have to see that walk the walk because that Josecito fight was kind of crazy. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Manny Pacquiao fight, right? That Manny Pacquiao fight was pretty tough. It's what you've done for me lately. That's how it goes around here. But, at the end of the day, he did come back twice from kind of a, in between almost the same type of layoff. Keith Thurman was definitely in a position to, kind of revamp again when he came back to the Josecito fight. He had fought Danny Garcia in 2017 in March. And it's crazy because, he took a layoff there for about 2 years and came back, fought Josecito Lopez, and it was a pretty tough fight for him. I think that, the Riverside Rocky, it was definitely, giving Keith a run for his money. A lot of even might say that he was in danger, So the Riverside Rocky was definitely presenting trouble after a 2-year layoff. Now, Manny Pacquiao coming into his Mario fight, they fought in July. So it's 2019. It's almost about to be 3 years. That's a pretty long time. So it's kind of like we just seen Gary Russell Jr. come back from a long layoff. Granted, he was injured, but he's nonetheless coming back from a long layoff, and he didn't get the dub. And, it's just the way the things go around here. You're not active. You're going to have that ring rust. And it can be real. I'm not one to really believe in it so much if you are staying disciplined in the gym throughout your whole lifestyle. So, again, just as I said about Gary Russell, given that Gary Russell fought with one arm, and I'm pretty sure, shout out to Mike Sayo, earned his keep, But I feel like it would have been a more competitive fight, and Magsayo might have been in a little bit of trouble with the experience that Gary Russell has in the ring in those later rounds, had he had his other arm. But nonetheless, here we are. Mark Magsayo is the new champion. Can't take that away from him. But let's get a little bit into the Pac-Man situation, right? Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Keith Thurman was in the fight, and a lot of us didn't like it, because we thought, hey, this is the new, fresh, younger guy. Manny Pacquiao's on his way out. But Manny Pacquiao let us know that he's the legend for a reason. And, he did quite well, and he took the dub on that night. And even in this press conference, Keith Thurman said that, he was about 15 punches away per round from, winning that fight. And that he expects to throw, the right amount of punches in this fight. No more, no less to throw away, but to, have exact punching, good punch placement, and no throwaway punches, but, making sure that the judges see who's going to be in control of the fight. Still remaining disciplined. But what can Manny Pacquiao compare to Mario Barrios? I mean, maybe some of the speed, even though Manny Pacquiao is always going to stand a scale above a lot of the fighters because of who he is and what he's done. So Manny Pacquiao was able to cut distance at times, and Mario Barrios, I think for the most part, is going to have the reach advantage. Don't know how much that matters with a guy like Keith Thurman, and I don't think it's that much of a difference, to be honest with you, in full scope. 69-inch reach for Keith Thurman and 71-inch reach for Mario Barrios. It's not super crazy, but he also has the height, so it's going to be the advantage in range. It's probably going to be to Mario Barrios from an eyes point of view, just off the face. But given that, I know that Keith Thurman can really control the range pretty good, if not way better than Mario Barrios. Much respect to Mario, but there's levels, and I think Keith can control that. I think that Mario Barrios should stand tall and be able to use that height and reach to kind of control some, if not at all, the range that in this fight. You got Manny Pacquiao again that, presented a lot of problems. Hard to compare him to Mario Barrios. But nonetheless, he was in there with, a Manny Pacquiao that supposedly was on his way out. And, a lot of the times Manny Pacquiao was able to get in on the inside. Again, guys, the layoff, being off, all that stuff. It kind of counts. It didn't seem too much for Keith Thurman in this fight. But, we're talking about almost 3 years now. So, comparatively, Mario Barrios has only really lost one time. I mean, you could argue about his resume as much as you want, but, he's had a pretty good run. And Manny Pacquiao, totally different caliber fighter. But I think that, again, comparatively, I can't say too much. What I can say is what we saw from Keith, more so than comparing a style to Mario Barrios, is that Keith Thurman was still able to get hit, get touched by an older Manny Pacquiao. And, get knocked down by an older Manny Pacquiao. So there's questions there that can be asked. Obviously, my man Mario Barrios is coming up in weight. And he's comparatively can't compare to the Manny Pacquiao, but you can count on him to be a good counterpuncher and, have decent power. And, again, he's not the guy with the long layoff. Mario Barrios, just fought. And, not just fought, but, at least within a year's time, a little less than a year. And before that, he was active in 2020. So, he's staying active, I guess, yearly. But that's not the case. In this case, he was at least in the ring a lot sooner than Keith Thurman. So, again, just comparing that. And that was the, as of recent, what have you done for me lately kind of point of view right now. That was the last fight that, Keith Thurman had. And his performance was what it was. 12-rounder. I think it was a split decision. And before that, you had a 2-year layoff from Danny Garcia, and he jumped into a Josecito Lopez fight, the Riverside Rocky. And we definitely know that was a tough situation for Keith Thurman. It scared the hell out of a lot of us, right? A lot of us thought that, he was in trouble in some of those rounds with the Riverside Josecito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky. And what more can I say about Josecito? A lot of the times in that fight, he was able to, cause some problems. Keith Thurman still able to counter punch and be a smart fighter even when he's getting overwhelmed, which I thought for a few rounds he was getting overwhelmed by Josecito. You can't count Josecito Lopez out at all. But again, Keith Thurman showing that even after a 2-year layoff, he can still stick to his guns after being cracked a couple of times, pretty hard, and finish the job. Now, can you compare that to a Manny Pacquiao performance? Manny Pacquiao being a higher performance fighter, in Manny's opinion, and you could say that Josecito Lopez is a tough guy, but stylistically, styles make fights. But you can honestly say that Manny Pacquiao was just a better fighter, and Keith Thurman did do better. Don't know if that attests to maybe his injury, healing better, or just having a better camp, because he was going through those healing stages. And Manny Pacquiao just turned out to be a better performance for him. So Josecito Lopez had him in trouble a few times, and that was a 2-year layoff with a lesser opponent. With all due respect, because Manny Pacquiao was that guy, even though he was the older fighter in that fight, and he still managed to take care of business. So, given that, you got to ask yourself, what kind of Keith Thurman are we getting into this fight with Mario Barrios? What are we getting into? What is Keith Thurman really getting into? You know what I'm saying? What is Keith Thurman really getting into? And can we talk much about it? I mean, we can't go back too far with Mario Barrios on his on his fights. I mean, he fought Gervonta Davis and the Cowboy, Ryan Carl. I mean, what are you gonna tell me about Ryan Carl? I mean, up until that round, which I forget what round that really was. It was a head smash, right? With Ryan Carl and Mario Barrios. Ryan Carl was actually starting to speed up things and, land some punches. I mean, not crazy, but, doing some good work, and boom, headbutt with Ryan Carl. So, got a guy like Ryan Carl giving him some good work, getting into a fight with one of the elite in the business, and Keith Thurman. So Mario Barrios has his hands full, in my opinion, with this fight, big time. Look, I'm going to touch on Gervonta Davis's fight, just to, I guess, definitely pay homage for him taking on an opponent like that. A guy like that is pretty dangerous. Gervonta Davis has been known to knock, big guys out in the sparring sessions. As of late, Ivan Rekchak, caught the pause out there in Five Stars TV gym in Las Vegas. So, shout out to them. And, Gervonta just, he's known to be able to crack. So, when you got a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis in front of you, even though you're shorter, it's still serious business. It's big money, but it's serious business. And, Mario Barrios took the fight. I don't know how well he made that weight, but nonetheless, he was able to stay in there a few rounds, and eventually, the power connected. And he took him out. He took Mario Barrios out. Now, does Mario Barrios, better yet, Keith Thurman, does Keith Thurman have Gervonta Davis power, or does Gervonta Davis have Keith Thurman power? Which one is it, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is it? Who got the heavy hitter? Who hits harder? Gervonta Davis or Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman is a natural 147. He's definitely not have to come up so many weight divisions. I mean, you could take it back, I guess, if you want to talk about his past. But he's a natural 147 pounder as a professional. So. The power is really there for me. And Keith Thurman is the one that they got the punching power. But you might say no. You might say Gervonta Davis has the more power, has the better connecting percentage. I don't know. He's a better finisher. I don't know. Keith, one time Thurman was knocking a lot of guys out, man. He's knocked out 22 KOs. He's fought 29 times, I think, 30 times. So, I think we forgot that Keith Thurman does have the power. Now, Mario Barrios, he's in the fight now with a power hitter. Does he have the power? I don't know. I have no idea, but he took some power from Gervonta, and Gervonta put him down. He wasn't as fast as Gervonta. And it's sad that I got to compare him, right, to his last fight and his performance. But, you still got to give him credit for some punches landing and him being able to, stay in there while he could with a guy like Gervonta Davis, who has, hell of a punching power. So can't say too much about it, He almost made it to the stretch. He passed the stretch. He almost made it to the 12th round. He wasn't able to. 139 he weighed in. Come weigh in. That's a tall frame. That's a tall, broad shoulder frame. So, but I can't take it away from Gervonta. He still did the thing, finished the job in the 11th round, and that's what happened. He was able to, stay in the fight, but, the power connected, and it's just comparing these two fights together with power hitters. Can Keith Thurman do the same thing? I think it's a possibility. I think Mario Barrios is going to have to fight this fight smart in order for him to last the 12 rounds and also to pick up some rounds along the way and, prove all the non-believers wrong, because I think we're going to get a very hungry Keith Thurman in this bout. He's going to be ready to go. He knows that a lot of doubters out there. He knows he has to make some waves in order to get those big fights. And I think a dominant win over Mario Barrios will give him just that, especially because they was, throwing Keith Thurman in there with Gervonta Davis talked a few months back. So, it's going to be like, yo, listen, we both fought him, but I did this a little better than you. If not, Gervonta Davis is going to be the one to say, hey, man, I put him down. I took him out. So, interestingly enough, that's what's going to end up being talked about if, he's not able to finish him in dominating fashion. So, again, this was just a quick fighter breakdown on Mario Barrios. And I'm going to give you the keys to victory on both fighters now. What do you think? Mario Barrios, Keith Thurman. Who is going to be victorious? Obviously, I not going to be able to put a poll on this one. But if you want, you can definitely leave some of your comments in the comment section and let me know what you think. Mario Barrios or Keith Thurman, how do you see it panning out? Who wins? Who doesn't? How does it happen? Mario Barrios. Okay, Mario Barrios, tools to victory. I think Mario Barrios needs to stand tall. I think he needs to stay at the end of the jab, control the range as much as he can with the stick out, using good foot movement, back and forth foot movement, and learning how to counter. I think we're going to get an aggressive Keith Thurman in this fight. And Mario Barrios needs to stay sharp, be a good counter puncher, and use that range, use that height, throw as many uppercuts as he can in order to be able to catch the shorter fighter coming in. Keith Thurman, body shots all day. I think Keith Thurman's keys to victory is going to be body shots in order to be able to have Mario Barrios crouch down, in order to be able to connect some solid shots to the head. And also, like always, Keith Thurman needs to control the distance. Distance is one of the most important things that you can do as a fighter in the ring, along with timing. So Keith Thurman has always been able to do a great job with that. I think with the Manny Pacquiao fight, we just saw Keith Thurman that was overconfident a bit. Didn't control it as best as he could on the way out on his back foot. That's why he got clipped with Manny Pacquiao coming in, as he does so aggressively. So hopefully he's cleaned that up. He's not overconfident. He's able to control that range and land some good body shots. Eventually, I think that the possibility of a knockdown or a KO or a TKO is possible. I see Keith Thurman being able to do it with some multiple combination punches, or maybe that body shot just lands. And predictions, how that fight happens, it's just the way I said it. I think that Keith Thurman can stop Mario Barrios. It's going to be up to Mario Barrios to let the people know that he's still in this fight and that he is not going anywhere, and definitely can go all 12 rounds with a champion like Keith Thurman. So, again, guys, this was the Fighter Breakdown here with Alex Doomsday Linus on the Boxing Biz podcast radio show. You already know. Cheer! We out here. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification bell. Let's get to 1,000. Get that community tab going. Let me do my thing out here, be able to do more for you guys. I appreciate for your help and for tuning in. Till next time, this weekend, Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, Fighter Breakdown. Cheer! Let's go. You gotta go. Cheer! 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 Cheer!